What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Odin coming back with a video, and today we've got we were going to have the box office breakdown, but as you all should be aware of at this point in time, because of everything going on with this crazy beer bug, everything has basically shut down, most especially movie theaters, which is very sad because, you know, it would be nice to have some place to go to at a time like this that's not indoors, but obviously we're trying to do the very best that we can to curtail any further spread of the beer bug and trying to basically blunt the spike, because we know there's going to eventually be a spike. We know eventually we're going to reach our peak. We don't know when that's going to be. So if we can try and blunt that as much as possible, that's one of the reasons why we are in the position that we're in. But it also means that the box office is in some very crazy times, because not only do we have now major sites not reporting any box office anymore, as you can see here from Deadline.com, ComScore pauses weekend box office reporting amid CV crisis. Obviously, this makes a lot of sense because there's really no movie theaters to report anything on in the first place. In the United States alone, over 4,000 theaters have closed, between 4,000 and 5,000 theaters, over 80% of all theaters in the United States, because all AMCs are closed, all Regal theaters are closed, all Cinemarks are closed, and other theaters, too, are also closed as well. What is interesting is the fact that you do actually have a lot of drive-in theaters that are actually still open. And I made a commentary on my channel over at MarcTheCyborg with, showing a clip from the podcast I do with John Flickinger, that we were, the Flick Pick, that we were thinking to ourselves, you know what, maybe we could actually see a future with more drive-ins popping up, because anytime an epidemic like this pops up, you know what? They can still remain open for a wide variety of reasons, because you can stay in the safety of your car. Now, is it the best way to watch a movie? Not necessarily. And actually, the studios have been figuring that out, because the studios have actually been trying to push a lot of things. Before I go into some of the bigger releases, some of the smaller releases, and what they're going to be doing, I do want to say that, as far as box office tracking goes in general, we do have Friday to Thursday weekly domestic chart from March 13th is the best that the numbers can really do at this point. And again, I feel sorry for everyone working at the numbers in any box office reporting site right now, because really nothing for them to do at this point. But as you can see, Onward had made around $11 million at 4,300 screens. But here's the problem. Onward is now currently available. So starting to talk about movies and what they're doing, Onward is currently available to purchase right now. If you go to iTunes, Google Play, you can buy the 4K digital copy for about $20. And this film has only been out for about 3 weeks or so. That's insane. This is unprecedented for a movie, not just to be available for rental, because Universal's already trying the rental mindset. So they're, for about $20, they're saying you can rent the movie for 48 hours. So you can rent it on iTunes, Google Play, etc. For smaller films like Emma, also The Invisible Man, they're doing it for as well. And a couple of other movies in addition to that. I think it was with The Hunt was the other one that they're renting too. And a lot of other movies are being announced already to be available for rental on what would have been their release day in theaters. And some cases we could see Disney is, again, I think, doing a bold choice here, because they're actually releasing not just Onward available for purchase, again, to buy and to own on digital right now, but they're releasing it on Disney Plus around April 3rd or 4th. And so they're obviously trying to take that into account. Who knows what's going to happen with Mulan? Who knows what's going to happen with Black Widow? I would assume they would want those films to be first released in theaters. But if we're at a point now where we're still maybe 12 weeks out from any real changes in theaters being able to open in any capacity whatsoever, because remember, when theaters are allowed to open again, they're not going to be able to open just, full-fledged. It's probably going to be a slow rollout of, okay, you can open so many screens and only have so many people in each screen. And there'll probably be some type of social distancing. Could you imagine going to a theater and you're basically being told where you can sit, and you can't sit like 6 seats next to each other or something like that. I mean, I think that is very likely going to be the position that theaters are going to be in to try and slowly roll back out. But that means it's going to be very much hurting them overall as far as what kind of money they can be expected to make. But let's go ahead and go to Deadline's reporting here. Just some of the movies that are being talked about. So Kumail Nanjiani, sorry if I mispronounced your name, good sir. But apparently their film, The Lovebirds, which was set to release April 3rd, is getting a Netflix release instead. So again, some of these films are going to be available on streaming services where you don't have to pay anything extra to access it. Some are going to be available for outright purchase instead. Sonic the Hedgehog is going to be dashing into homes, as it says up here, on home video on March 31st. So again, that's not too crazy, but in comparison to the fact that the film was still playing in theaters, again, it's very unheard of for movies to go that quickly to physical media, let alone digital media. as well. Let's see anything else right here. Searchlight A24 Focus features alter release date of Dosed, Human Capital, and more theatrical shift plans. So let's see what other films are being mentioned here. So again, these are more independent films that I've never really heard of before. I do like Liev Schreiber, so he's in one of those movies. Let's see, A24's First Cow is being moved as well. Let's see if we have any other big ones. As you can see, U.S. box office is now 5,000 theaters dark, though drive-ins have some gas. So as I said before, I think drive-ins could potentially be very important there. Ben Affleck's drama, The Way Back, heads into homes as theaters close. So it'll be available stateside in the next couple of days. That it'll be available online, available for electronic sell-through stateside. So it looks like they're going to be selling the movie. Based on this, Warner Brothers' current theatrical release, The Way Back, joins the pack of recent picks, making its way to homes sooner. The pick will be available for electronic sell-through stateside, which is the same Birds of Prey is made available at the price of $19.99. Ben Affleck movie directed follows. Okay, that's just a breakdown of the movie. So it looks like that'll be available for purchase. It's really hard to, again, who knows what these theaters can be doing. I know Universal's doing the rental method. Disney has so far sold one movie, which is Onward, and Warner Brothers looks like it might be doing some type of rental, maybe some type of purchase, but it's crazy times. And you know what? This is, I think, the reason why now more so than ever, we need physical media. If you do not collect physical media, now is the time, because yeah, you might say, I got Netflix and I got Amazon Prime and it's great. You don't have guarantees that those movies are going to stay on your services. They can take those down at any time. And also, now that everyone's at home and everyone's using those services, what if their servers crash? What if their servers crash and the people that work at the places that keep those servers running have been sent home because they can't keep them up, and then you're down for a very long time? That's why recently I've actually been basically, ripping my Blu-rays, ripping my DVDs, and uploading them into my own personal server, and I have access to them through Plex, which is just this free site that you can use. But for example, again, I got this movie in 1917 for Universal, which I still need to review for the channel, but again, I have this. They can't take this away from me. I own this movie now, and nothing that they can ever do can take that away. Even the digital copy on here, right? Even the Movies Anywhere code that's going to be on this Blu-ray, they can change that at any point if they want to alter the movie, right? We see that Disney's doing that a lot. They're going back and they're altering some of their classic films. They can do that on their services, but if you own the physical copy, they cannot touch it. And so I'd recommend to everyone right now, if you have the ability to do so and you have movies and shows that you love, try it this time buying them, right? Obviously, I know that we live in a culture where we'd much rather just sit back and relax, but you know what? If you put all that that work in on the front end, eventually you could come to the point, because if this can happen now, it can happen in the future. And if it does happen in the future, and it's worse than what we have right now, who knows where we're going to be. So I'm glad that I personally own all of my movies. Again, it's crazy what's going on for the box office. Again, thoughts and prayers going out to everyone that works for the film industry, most especially the people that don't really get a lot of attention. Those hard workers that basically make movies possible. Not necessarily the actors who get paid millions of dollars and make really stupid Twitter videos and all that kind of stuff, but the hardworking people, the hourly employees, the people that are not guaranteed wages, all those people. Again, my thoughts and prayers are out for them, because even though it's nice to see Disney losing money, if it's going to be at the cost of regular everyday people that are not guilty of the crazy things that Disney has done, especially as far as the creative side of things like Star Wars and Marvel, etc., I don't want them to be impacted by this. And so we're living in crazy times, and it's really hard to see. And it makes my job a lot harder, because my job is to talk about box office. But all I can say is this much. Onward being sold makes a lot of sense to me. And the reason why is because this movie, based on the last numbers that we have, and we're not going to get any new numbers on this for the foreseeable future. In fact, when the theaters come back, who knows if they're even going to be showing some of these older films anymore. I don't know what they're going to do when theaters reopen, because these contracts were active. What happens when the contract can't be fulfilled? Do they then delay the contract on? Does that mean that new releases can't be released if they've been given again, we don't really know what's going to happen when theaters actually are able to turn the lights back on in a wide scale. And so that's why I said before, buy your movies, buy your shows, try and back them up if you can. I got a really cheap setup by getting an NVIDIA Shield and a 10 terabyte hard drive, and I've been able to access a bunch of movies as I've been, uploading them on. Because again, if you own the copy, it's completely legal for you to rip the movie as long as you're keeping it for your own home entertainment. I know there's a lot of pirates out there, especially people that watch this channel. And again, I totally understand where you're coming from, but if you want to have it yourself, if you want to go things through a more legal channel, that's one way that you could possibly do it. But anyway, what are your thoughts about all of this? Like, seriously, this is crazy. I've gone to the store now several times. I have not been able to buy toilet paper. I just want to get a regular, just like 2 rolls, if even, of toilet paper, just to know that we have them. We still have a few rolls here at home, but once we run out, we do need to have that just for basic use. But there are people out there that are hoarding all this crap. Today, there were no eggs. Today, I couldn't even buy eggs to make breakfast for my wife. It's so crazy. So let me know your thoughts about the craziness going on right now. Do you think that the box office is going to be able to come back this year? I mean, yeah, obviously it's going to reopen at some point probably this year, but are they going to be able to recover? I mean, the amount of money that's going to be lost to these studios, right? It's going to be truly insane. And again, this is why I'm even more so being pushed towards physical media and trying to back up physical media, because at this time, man, it's pretty much what we need. But let me know your thoughts about that. All the thoughts I got in the comment section below. If you like this video, smash that like button, give us a subscribe. Check me out over at the Odin's Movie Vlog channel. I need some love during these crazy times. Luckily, you know, I'm a teacher, so we're doing remote learning. So I'm still working right now, but I feel for all those hourly employees out there who I'm friends with, who I know who are members of this channel, who don't have that same capacity, who can't work from home because of their job and are losing hours, losing pay. And, you know, luckily it looks like the government's going to be trying to step in to give people money who are in those circumstances so that way they can continue to pay their bills, etc. And it looks like a lot of companies are stepping up. I know that here locally there's a company called EPB, which handles electricity and internet, and they've already said we're not shutting down anyone's power during this time. We're not shutting down anyone's internet during this time because we know that they're necessary. And so it's great to see giant companies like that standing up. I hope more more companies can do that in the future, and it's crazy. Anyway, let me know thoughts about this. Love you guys. As always, God bless.